my channel. If you're new to my channel, I'm just a girl who likes reading romance, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, any kind of genre of romance in general. And I also happen to have cerebral palsy, and it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel. Happy Wednesday! Today's video is going to be March, end of the month, wrap up. I'm going to talk about all the books that I read at the second half of March. As always, I'll leave my March mid-month wrap-up in the links below in the description. So if you want to know all about all the books that I read in the first half of March, please go watch that video. The first couple of books I'm going to go through really quick. Oh, and I read 35 books in total for the month of March. The first couple books I'm going to go through really quickly because I featured these books in my recent reads video. I'll also link my recent reads video down below in the description. So if you want to know full details about these books, please go watch that video. Now let's get started with the books. Fairydale by Veronica Lancet. I give this book 4 stars. I read this book because of Tiffany from Tiff Talks pages. A Kiss of Iron by Claire Sager. I give this book 4 stars. To Bleed a Crystal Bloom. I read this book because of Just from Honest Fiction. I give the first book, To Bleed a Crystal Bloom, 4 stars. Then I read the next book in that series, which is To Snap a Silver Stem. I gave all. Then I read a paranormal series, the Tooth and Claw series by Heather Greer. The first book, Cold Hearted, I gave 5 stars. The second book in that series, Hot Blooded, I gave 4 stars. Once Bitten, I gave 4 stars. Also, a book that I read, not a part of that video, but I reread House of Sky and Breath for the SJM along. It's finished. I can't believe it. For those of you who did not know what the SJM along is, it's where we read Sarah J. Maas's books in publication order, and the last book we had to read for that was House of Sky and Breath, and I gave it 5 stars. Next we have On the Hustle by Adriana Herrera. The heroine works for this billionaire boss. And she has a job opportunity to be an interior designer. She does interior designing as a side job, and she designs bookish themed designs for people who want it. So she quits her job, she gives her notice to her boss because she's his secretary, and he didn't make a big deal about it, and so the heroine thinks the boss doesn't care if she quits, so she moves to Dallas to start her interior designing job, but in reality, her boss has been pining for her this whole time, but he didn't want to make a move while she was working for him. And once he found out she actually moved to Dallas, he starts getting really nervous, and he gets a job up. He gets an opportunity to be in a design show on TV, and he says to the producers, the only person I want to work with is this person. So he gives them the name of his secretary. So the boss tries to win the secretary affection, and it's their romance, and I thought it was really cute. On the Hustle by Adriana Herrera. I read this book because of Lacey from Lacey's Book Club and Bree from In 11 Words. They had such good things to say about this book, and I really liked it. The next book I read was Delilah Green Doesn't Care. Delilah lives in New York as a photographer, and she goes back to Bright Falls to be the photographer for her stepsister's wedding. And she doesn't want to go back because she doesn't have the best relationship with her stepmother and her stepsister Astrid. But she goes back to be the photographer. And while she's back in Bright Falls, she has a romance with one of her stepsister's best friend, Claire. Claire is a single mom, and it's a sapphic romance. And through Delilah's relationship with Claire, she starts to see that maybe she didn't get the whole story with Astrid. Like, maybe Delilah didn't give her a chance. So I really liked it. I gave this book 5 stars. And apparently Delilah Green Doesn't Care is very popular. A few of my friends on Booktube has read this book and really liked it. I think Ava, Christy, Lacey, Jess, Victoria, they all really liked this book, and they gave it 5 stars, and I'm glad that I like this book too. Next I read Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail, and it is Astrid's story, Delilah's stepsister, and we know since she gets her own book that obviously she doesn't go through with the wedding, but Astrid gets this really big design opportunity to renovate the town inn. She gets to be on TV. But the lead carpenter for that project is Jordan, the granddaughter, the innkeeper's granddaughter. And they get off on the wrong foot because Jordan spills coffee and Astrid's dress, but through the renovation
Jordan spills coffee on Astrid's dress.
And Astrid, they develop feelings for each other, and it's their relationship. Jordan is very hesitant with Astrid because she got really burned before by her ex-wife. And Astrid is like trying to figure out what she really wants to do with her life. Does she really want to continue being a designer? And I give this book 4 stars. I thought it was cute, but I like Delilah Green better. Next I read Highest Bidder by Sarah Kate. It is the latest book in the Salacious Players Club. And this is about Daisy. She works at Salacious Players and she makes a bet with one of her co-workers that Ronan would bid on a certain type of woman, and she loses the bet. So Daisy has to get up at Salacious Players Club for auction. And to save Daisy from encountering a not nice person, Ronan bids on Daisy himself. And I thought Ronan was really sweet. I loved him. And through Daisy's encounters with Ronan, she realizes that she had the wrong first impression of him. But Daisy has a secret that she doesn't tell Ronan, and that's what caused me to give this book 4 stars. But I really love Ronan. Please go check Highest Bidder out. Then I read an arc of That First Night, and it's about Thomas and Peyton. Thomas is a billionaire, and Peyton, they meet at a charity auction, at a charity ball in New York. They have a pretty steamy time, but the fire alarm goes off, and they never see each other again. It's 5 years later. Ronan Thomas is a single dad billionaire, and Peyton moves to New York with her best friends, and Peyton applies for a nanny job, and what they don't know is, what Peyton doesn't know is, Thomas's sister is the one who hired her. So they are surprised when they see each other again. So it's a nanny romance, single dad. And I thought it was really cute. I give this book 4 stars. I give it 4 stars because I wish that Peyton and Thomas resisted their attraction to each other a little bit more. And for one thing, Thomas's son, James, I thought he's 3 years old, and I thought he used too many adult words for a 3-year-old. That's just my opinion. But anyway, I really enjoyed this book. This book was very steamy, and so was Highest Bidder. Next, I read A Worthy Opponent. It's book 4 in Katie Roberts' Wicked Villains. Book 3 in Katie Roberts' Wicked Villains series, and it's about Hook and Tinkerbell, and they get drunk one night, and they have an arranged marriage. And if you don't know what the Wicked Villains series is, it's where the villains of the Disney movies got their HEA. So, where the opponent is about Tink and Hook, and they get into a arranged marriage. They have a BDSM relationship, and I liked it. I gave it 4 stars. It was cute. Then I read The Beast, the 4th book in the Wicked Villains series. I give this book 4 stars, and it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Of course, they don't use the same names as Gaston and Belle. They changed the name, but it's basically a Beauty and the Beast retelling where Belle, the Beast, and Gaston have a relationship. I thought it was cute. It was okay. I gave it 4 stars, but I liked the other books in that series better. Next I read Was I Ever Here? I read this for Cover to Cover Book Club, Out of Bounds Book Club, run by Nikki from Nikki and Bookland and McKay from All Hands McKay. Now, I changed my rating on this. I changed it to 3 stars instead of 4 because I was really confused in the first half of the book. It's a soulmate romance. The hero and the heroine always get reincarnated, but the heroine always forgets the hero. So the hero stalks her in the present life, and he tries to get her to remember her, but he
tries to get her to remember him.
I don't know. I was just very confused in the first half, but if you like soulmate reincarnation retelling, give Was I Ever Here a shot. And the last book I read for the month is The Third Baseman by Lulu Moore. It's a second chance romance about a famous baseball player and his first love, and he breaks the heroine's heart. And they're in high school. He gets a contract with the LA Dodgers, and when he gets drafted, he breaks her heart. Usually a couple years later, he gets transferred to New York, and he said the only way that he will move to New York he said to the general manager, the only way he will move to New York is if the general manager finds his ex-girlfriend and hires her. So it's the second chance romance. I thought it was cute. I gave it 4 stars. But there was a lot of miscommunication going on. But I really liked the hero. He always knew that the heroine was it for him. And the heroine has been divorced once before, so she's kind of hesitant to start things up with him again. But the hero is very persistent in her giving him a second chance. And I thought it was sweet, but the miscommunication got a little bit too much for me, so that's why I gave it 4 stars instead of 5. Those are all the books I read at the end of March. Please let me know down in the comments below if you have read any of these books. I would love to know, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. That would mean the world to me. Please like this video, and I'll see you